Bitcoin's going to zero. It's all over. Pack your bags. That's the end of the bull market. Of course not. We're just getting started. Don't worry. In today's video, I'm going to drop some news. I'm going to go through some of the altcoins I'm looking to buy on this dip. And I'm going to be showing you the strategy which I've been following so far, which has allowed me to make 2, 3, and even 5x on some different altcoins. My name's Tyrell, and I'll show you how to make money online and invest the profits. Now, the first thing I'd like to discuss is people are saying that Bitcoin could break through $40,000 this December. Now, I don't personally believe that. We got very close, but I'm not too sure. I think 40K, maybe 42 is going to be the resistance. And unless you've been living under a rock, this is because of the news from CZ Binance settling with the Department of Justice. Now, I'm not going to cover this too much because I know you guys have probably heard this enough. But long story short is people think that because CZ is taking the plea, just like the same way that Arthur Hayes did it, they're saying that, you know, Arthur Hayes was one of the catalysts for the last cycle, and they're saying that CZ will also be the catalyst for this cycle. Now, do I believe that it is that simple? Yeah, probably. It probably will be a catalyst, but this December, I'm not too sure. In fact, I really don't even want it to go that heavy. The reason is because we do need a pullback. We need to pull back to support. And I'm going to be showing you some of those TA points where I'm looking to get sniper entries next. Now, another thing is that Atletico Madrid plan to sue a whale fin. I don't even know what this coin is, whale fin, for $22 million in unpaid sponsorships. Now, you might have seen some UFC sponsorships from VeChain or Kronos, but those guys wasn't just the only ones. Last cycle, there were tons and tons of sports teams, influencers, and any type of athlete of the kind taking these deals from different crypto companies. And they were just raising money and blowing their whole marketing budget on these types of sponsorships. And it seems like these guys didn't even pay up. Now, what this article discusses is that the Spanish club signed over a 5-year deal with Whalefin starting from 2022 and 23 season, which ended in May. Now, Whalefin's agreement with Atletico saw the exchange become one of the club's main sponsors. However, the terms of the deal were never followed up by the exchange. Recall that ahead of the 2022 and 23 season, the Terra Luna ecosystem had just collapsed, and Celsius and Voyager also filed bankruptcy a few months after. So these guys probably lost a lot of money. They took the deal and it didn't go through. This does give crypto companies a bad look. However, if you was around for that Terra Luna collapse, then you would have understood that most people lost a lot of money, and a lot of companies actually had their money in these exchanges and with these venture capital companies. So it's no surprise that they wasn't able to pay it. And now they're getting hit with with $22 million in damage as well. That's just part of their game. You know what I mean? To put it in short, the UK is blowing my mind right now because they're allowing tokenization of funds, right? Which means that, you know, you can be an investment fund, or we'll go through the article shortly, but basically it means that you can have a fund or some types of real world assets and tokenize them. Yeah, you can't even buy crypto on a normal exchange. You can't even use a BYBIT, for example, or I think you can't even use KuCoin in the UK. And yet they want to do tokenization, you know, and be the front end of blockchain. To me, it doesn't make sense. You know, I think the simple way for the UK to accelerate is just make it easy and accessible for normal people to get involved in crypto. Forget this Bitcoin nonsense. Forget this tokenizing funds, and just simply allow people to buy what they want to buy with their money. You know, it's not the bank's money. The bank can't tell you what to do. Now it can. It shouldn't be able to. And this is why so many people are moving out of the UK. Now, what this article says is that the UK has granted authorization for funds to explore tokenization following the establishment of technology working group by the government's asset management task force earlier this year. In a collaborative effort with HM Treasury and the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, which you probably heard about, the working group has unveiled a comprehensive roadmap in its report titled the UK Fund Tokenization, a blueprint for implementation. So what they're basically saying is that in the UK, you can tokenize a fund. which means that you'll probably be able to get fractionalized funds and trade this token, which is the same as what the fund is buying, and they'll take all that crypto money and buy real world assets and pay you in a coin. The UK love this fancy stuff, and to me, this doesn't seem like the advancement of technology. It seems like another fancy scam that the UK like to do. Now, in terms of the price of Bitcoin, that's it for today's news. But the price of Bitcoin is actually looking like we do want to pull back. Now, I mentioned this earlier, is that I'm looking for a pullback here, and I feel like a pullback is due. I'm not too sure whether we come down to, the fib over here, about 35k, whether we come down to like the 618 level, which is about like 33k, or ideally in the best case scenario is December, just throughout December we just come down and we at least touch this $30,000 level. Now, I know it's going to be scary for a lot of people, but for some people who still have cash on the side, I want to get entries in crypto, this pullback is gold. Like, I can't express this enough, just how golden this is. Like, if we go back through the history here, and I remove if you guys want to know what indicator this is, by the way, this is the predictor Moku Cloud 9. So just pause it here and you can add that indicator to your stuff, because I know a lot of people ask in the comments. And down here, this is Market Cipher. So they're the two ones I use. I use Market Cipher as an RSI, and I use predictor Moku. It's just because it's just moving averages. Once you understand the strategies, it's fairly simple. But if you look over here, right, and you look at some of these pullbacks just before Bullrun, like look at the last cycle when we were in this 2020 range, and you can see we have this slight pullback, boom, right? So it's a very small window of opportunity, and I think that's only a few weeks. That's like what, a month? Obviously you have the vid collapse, which is just extreme, but if you're looking at these small pullbacks before the massive Bullrun, I mean, this is a great opportunity. So I'm thinking a similar thing will happen here. Like, this was obviously us fighting, and we wasn't too sure whether it's bull market, whatever. Now this is completely confirmed that we're bull market. So what I'm expecting is another pullback now, or at least a smaller pullback, like I said, to these levels here. And they're the entries that I'm looking to get. And trading wise, boy, this is where you can like 10x your whole bloody account trading when you hit levels like this. Because some of the altcoins I'm about to show you have already flown, and these are the ones where I'm looking to catch on a pullback. Now, some of the few altcoins that I'm looking to catch on the next pullback from Bitcoin, if we do pull back, are number one, QNT. Now, QNT is a larger market cap coin. You can see here, it likes to pump a lot. And right now, it hasn't moved as much as other coins. I mean, if you just look at Quant on TradingView, you'll see like throughout the time when other coins have been absolutely flying, like of a similar status, this hasn't done a lot. Like, from bottom to top of the most recent pump is 30%. Like, that's absurd, right? Compared to some of the other coins like Rune, TRB, I think is even flying. Solana's flying. 30% right about now on a coin, for me, is very suspicious, right? It sets it up to make me think like, okay, this might be pumping. If we look in terms of the indicators, which I don't just rely on indicators, but if you look at indicators, you can see Market Cipher, we're coming into the green. We're getting a little trigger wave here. So obviously that's bullish. Another thing that's bullish for QNT on the indicators is that we are looking at Kumo breakout. We've retested the cloud just now. Okay, so that also means that we are fairly bullish to the upside. Now remember, if Bitcoin does make that pullback, which I talked about, QNT will get wrecked. Like, it will get wrecked a lot. So you probably see us even go below the cloud. Maybe we come down to about this. I've actually put orders down at 95.8. Because if we do come from 95.8 and we break out to the top, that's 63%. So yeah, that goes without saying, right? The next one is Kronos. Now, exchange tokens are a narrative. You guys always want to ask me, Taro, what's the narrative? What's the next narrative? What's the, like, I predict the future or something. But I know it might feel like that when I show you the price of MIR Games right now. But in terms of exchange tokens, you got to remember, right? When we look at the sponsorships, these guys all blew up. But some of the tokens out there that survived the FTX collapse, survived the Terra Luna collapse, survived all these other things when everybody thought that they will go. They haven't been sued like Binance. Crow have just stayed lig. They've kept all of their nonsense under the rug, and they continue building and gaining users. And they sponsor the UFC, which is now, I think it's like the biggest sports thing ever. So everybody that watches the UFC is going to start buying Kronos. If they do a fancy, nice marketing giveaway, which hopefully they do, this is going to pass all-time high. And right now, it's at 0.09. We're 10x away from all-time high. And I genuinely believe that we will surpass it, because these guys have survived probably one of the toughest bear markets for most exchanges. And obviously, it's an exchange token. So Kronos is definitely going to be in my portfolio on the next pullback. Next, we have Sand. Now, Sand is a gaming token. If you guys don't know about Sand, I made some ridiculous, silly money on Sand last cycle. And I'm going to do it again, because why not? I'm probably not going to get as low as I was before. I was buying Sand at 0.04. We're 10x from where I was buying it last cycle, which is crazy. But I do think Sand again will continue to go. If we look at some of the other gaming tokens, which I'm going to show you later, Sand is up there. Sand's a blue chip. And with your blue chips, you got to think about it. If you can get over a 10x, almost a 20x, close, right, to all-time high from here on a blue chip token, a token that is listed on every single exchange, is crazy. Usually to hit 20x gains, you have to buy a micro cap on Uniswap or 1inch, and you're swapping this token for that random token, and nobody even knows about it. But look at Sand, and actually genuinely, guys, go and look at the website. So anything that you invest into, go to CoinMarketCap, go down to websites, white paper, and just read about it. Right? Don't just buy something because you see it on YouTube and you think you're going to make money. That's not going to work for you, right? Look at Sand and actually deep the quality of this game. They have actually built something very, very impressive. Sand is impressive and it works. The technology works. You can build Roblox games within Sand, and as the owner, you keep 95% of the revenue. So once this starts working, some people are going to make serious money just in Sand. And that's what the metaverse is about. What was the point of the metaverse, guys? The metaverse was supposed to be online. You're on this game, like Roblox, right? Like Minecraft. You can build things and you make money from it. That's what the metaverse is supposed to be. Most people are saying metaverse and they've got nothing to show for it. At least Sand have a real product, and with something having a real product in the next bull cycle, that is going to fly. And you guys will remember, I'll make another video about this in 3 to 6 months time. This thing will be past all-time high, and some of you guys will be making crazy money. So hopefully you really do take Sand into consideration on this next pullback and think, okay, this is the wise entry. Next we have Astra. Now Astra is in my high risk, high reward investments. I mean, these guys are a pure disappointment in my eyes, and the team, hopefully they do something. When I see people like this, I just think come on guys, right? Come on guys, I'm going to keep it professional here, right? But when I see people like this, I think they must at least be able to build a business. They must be able to build a business. Everybody here is in suits. You guys know I'm anti-suits. You got all these Donnies. One of them must be able to do something. And I'm confident. That's why I decided to invest. I've got about 15 grand of Astra, not at this price. At this price, probably about 3K. I got in early, and I also brought some on market as well, because I think that these guys, one of these guys is going to bring us back, right? You see me speak about Astra a few times. It's a micro cap coin right now. I think it is sub 10. Yeah, it's only $2 million. So that means if it goes to $10 million, you got 5x, and I think that's even just about here, right? So a little blimp on this chart is 5 times your money. So my risk to reward with this one is easy. And it's something, again, where I can put 0.5% of my portfolio in here. And then if it flies, it flies. And it makes me a lot of money. If not, I forget about it and it's not that deep. But believe me, guys, look at MIR Games. Look at Astra. Look at MIR Games. Look at Astra. Very interesting, right? a lot of times on these tokens, they come out, they go down, 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 down. And when they go, they don't stop, right? So if Astra picks up, it will just look like a U-bend, right? It reminds me of SwissBorg. Again, I love talking about this token because big up the SwissBorg team. I love you guys. You guys made me a lot rich, right? But look, it's just like that, man. Like when it comes out, it's just down. And even if I put it like towards the year before we pumped, you know what I mean? Like that looks just like Astra. It comes out, it's a failure. Nobody cares about it. The team continue building. Somebody does something and it doesn't stop. You know, that was SwissBorg. Just deep that, right? This is going to happen again. It happened with MIR. I don't think MIR is going to stop. I think MIR is at least got another 5x in it. You know, with 5x to the market cap of Gala Games, and the MIR community is better than the Gala Games community because the MIR community, the CEO hasn't taken half of the nodes in supply and dumped them on everybody. That's basically what the CEO of Gala Games did. When we was bullish on Gala Games, I think it was even exactly in like the highs, which is crazy. It was like around here, which it was reported that the CEO of Gala Games, the co-founder, printed his own nodes and dumped on everybody millions of dollars. And that's why the crash came in heavy. But that's not the case with MIR Games. Everybody that's got nodes has got their nodes. And most of the people that have got nodes are compounding. So if you do look at the long term for MIR Games, it's very positive. And I do think that this is going to be the blue chip of the next cycle. I told you guys about this in November. I told you guys about this in October. I told you about this in September. And I'm telling you now, consider looking at MIR Games. You guys are seeing in my trading group, which you can join in the link in the description, I put a call out buying MIR Games, even on market with my own money. Even though I've got 24 nodes and hundreds of thousands of dollars of the token, I'm still putting in flips because you can, and it's free money when you're playing it properly. And you can see now I've flipped to ETH. I flipped, I think it was at 0.5 or 0.7 ETH to 1.8 ETH right here. And you guys can join the Telegram group and you can get the latest signals on what I'm buying and what I'm doing. And you can also join the trading group in the link in the description. So guys, that's it for today's video. I've showed you some of the coins that I'm looking at. We discussed some of the news and the next things for the Bitcoin price. Remember, if we do dip, that's not the end of the market. This is just the beginning. Make sure that you have cash flow on the side to make the right plays and enjoy the profits next time. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace.